Hey there, 80s family. Welcome back to 80s Vault. You know that feeling when you wake up early on December morning, rush to the window, and see the first magical snowfall of the season? The way the Christmas lights would reflect off the fresh snow, making just everything look like a scene from a snow globe. So today, we're traveling back to Christmas in the 1980s, when the Sears Wish Book was our Amazon, and when every TV special was appointment viewing, and when December meant transforming our homes into a winter wonderland, one handmade decoration at a time. So grab your hot chocolate and settle into a cozy spot by the heater vent, and let's remember what Christmas was like when magic wasn't just a click away. The Christmas season always started at school. Suddenly, our classrooms transformed with paper chains and snowflakes we'd spend hours cutting out. Do you remember those construction paper wreaths? And the excitement of the school Christmas concert? Everyone in their best clothes, and our parents were armed with those massive video cameras, recording our slightly off-key rendition of Silent Night. Then there were the Christmas cards, and not just sending them, but receiving them. Every day after school, we'd rush to the mailbox and check. Each card was an event, especially those fancy ones with the family newsletters tucked inside. Mom would display them all, turning our living room into a gallery of smiling faces and holiday wishes. Getting the Christmas tree wasn't just an errand, it was an expedition. We'd bundle up in just so many layers we could barely move, pile into the station wagon, and then head to the tree farm. Dad would always say, "This year, we're getting a smaller tree." But somehow, we'd end up with one that just barely fit through the door. The search would just take hours. Too tall, too skinny. It has a bald spot. Mom's favorite phrase was, "Let's mark this one and just keep looking," which any kid knew meant we'd never see that tree again. Meanwhile, Dad would be testing every tree's needle's retention like he was conducting a scientific study. Decorating wasn't just an afternoon activity. It was a whole house transformation that took days. First came the lights inspection. Dad would spend hours testing each strand, muttering under his breath when he couldn't find one of the burnt-out bulbs that was ruining everything. The ornament boxes were like time capsules. Each one held memories. Baby's first Christmas. Those delicate glass balls passed down from grandma. And my personal favorites, like the handmade ones from elementary school that Mom insisted on keeping, even though the popsicle stick reindeer was like missing an antler. Tinsel was an art form, or at least Mom thought so. She tried to teach us how to hang it one strand at a time. But let's be honest, we'd wait until she wasn't looking and just throw it by the handfuls. Our trees looked more enthusiastic than elegant, but that was just part of the charm.
Monday, it's two holiday treats. First, can Charlie Brown save the meaning of Christmas? Then, Bugs Bunny and his pals present...
Christmas entertainment was something special because you couldn't just stream your favorites. You had to wait for them. The TV guide became our Bible in December. We'd circle every special, Rudolph and Frosty and Charlie Brown Christmas. And you better not miss it, or you'd have to wait a whole year to see it again. MTV even got into the Christmas spirit. Do you remember those Christmas videos? And we watched every single time. Then there were the Christmas episodes of our favorite shows like Family Ties or Growing Pain or Who's the Boss. Each one had a special event. Movie nights meant planning ahead. We'd make hot chocolate, grab every blanket in the house, and settle in for It's a Wonderful Life or my favorite, A Christmas Story. Christmas shopping in the 80s was a full contact sport, and the mall was our battlefield. We all were just soldiers armed with gift lists and sales ads. Do you remember Woolworths? They had just everything, from cheap stocking stuffers to that perfect gift for that someone special in your life. And the Sears Wish Book deserved its own zip code. We'd wear out those pages, circling everything we wanted, leaving subtle hints by folding down the corners. The toy section was especially well studied. For the Cabbage Patch Kids and Transformers to Nintendo games, our wishes were carefully prioritized and color-coded. And wrapping presents, that was a covert operation. We'd hide in our rooms with doors locked, using every square inch of wrapping paper, because if you had pieces 2 scraps together, everyone would know exactly where the gift came from. Writing to Santa was serious business. I mean, we'd draft multiple versions, debating whether to mention, the big fight we had with our sister, and, how would that affect the nice list status? And some of us would even include maps to our houses, just in case Santa needed GPS before GPS even existed. And then there were the cookies for Santa. We'd only leave out the good ones, not the weird ones that our aunt brought over that really nobody liked. And carrots for the reindeer, because who doesn't want their Christmas presents delivered by a well-fed reindeer? Christmas morning had its own rhythm. You weren't allowed to wake your parents before 6 a.m., a rule that we followed by camping outside their door at 5:59 a.m. Dad would insist on making coffee before just anything else happened, and that was like the longest 4 minutes of any kid's life. And then came the present opening ceremony. Some families did one at a time, and some were like free-for-alls. But everyone had that one person who took forever to carefully unwrap the gifts, saving the paper because, it's just too pretty to tear. And meanwhile, the rest of us had already created a just paper blizzard. The kitchen was command central all December. Mom's recipe box would come out full of handwritten cards spotted with vanilla extract and butter stains. Some recipes only appeared at Christmas, like Grandma's special cookie recipe, that had secret ingredients she just never would reveal. A white Christmas meant instant entertainment. We'd be outside building snowmen, having, snowball fights, or sledding down any hill we could find. Remember those plastic sleds that would crack if you looked at them wrong, but they still somehow last like all winter? And then coming inside with our red cheeks and frozen toes, we'd warm up with hot chocolate, the real kind, not just hot water with powder, and always with those little marshmallows that just never quite melted for some reason. The relatives would start arriving, Christmas afternoon, aunts and uncles, cousins you only saw once a year, each bringing their signature dish and stories we'd heard 100 times, but we still loved them. The kids' table was its own adventure, a place where green beans mysteriously disappeared into napkins and jokes were just a little bit too loud. The adults would gather in the living room, sharing stories about Christmas past, and we'd listen, pretending we weren't interested, but somehow those stories, they stuck with us, becoming part of our own Christmas memories. As Christmas Day wound down, we'd settle into our new gifts, playing with the new toys, trying on the clothes, and reading the new books. The house would be a mess of wrapping paper, empty boxes, and half-eaten cookies. But really nobody cared, well, except for Mom. And the best part? The peaceful moment when the excitement started to fade, when you'd sit in the glow of the tree lights, everyone tired but happy, and maybe watching a new movie someone got as a gift, but just enjoying being together. And you know what made the 80s Christmas so special? It wasn't just the presents or the decorations, or even the traditions. It was the way that everything required presence. Real, physical, in-the-moment presence. We couldn't text our Christmas wishes or email our gift lists. Every part of Christmas meant being there, fully there. I mean, sure, today's holidays, they might be more convenient. You can order gifts with one click, stream any Christmas movie anytime you want, or even video chat with relatives across the country. But there was something magical about the way we had to work for our Christmas joy. Hunting for that perfect gift, waiting for those special TV moments, or making those imperfect but love-filled decorations. So before I go, I would love for you to drop a comment below with your favorite 80s Christmas memories. Like, what special tradition did your families have? What was the one gift that you're just never gonna forget? And be honest, did you ever find that one burnt out bulb in the string of lights? So this is Lisa from 80s Vault. remind you that sometimes the best Christmas moments are the ones that take just a little extra effort. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you next time, right after I finish untangling the tinsel.